My name is Queen Nkechi Omson. It is the end of the semester, and it's been quite a long one. Um, End of freshman year, done, finished. It's very cool, and I feel like it's very amazing that I have all of these videos to look back on to remind me of my tenure during my first year at CSUN. But I did not come here to just with you about my first amazing semester. I came to talk to you about Africana studies. What is Africana studies? Africana studies is the study of African American people, cultures, values, situations, and issues that circulate throughout the community. Africana studies is basically just like any other class that you would take, such as history, or okay, like in middle school, for example, you usually took world history, and all of those histories that are within that are the same thing that would have to do with Africana studies. It is basically the history of African American people and everything that has to do with the African American diaspora. And it is a great way for African Americans to touch in with their roots and to, kind of find out a lot about themselves because of the fact that we were taken from the one place that we called home and can no longer call home because of the big gap that we have had to endure because of slavery. But Africana Studies is a new way to enter into that and to find ourselves again, which is why it should be on every university campus, just as well as um, any other cultural or racial or ethnical group or community that would be represented at any other university campus. Another reason why Africana Studies is described, or rather, in my opinion, described as something that should be represented in all universities, is because of the fact that many African American people, most, if not all, do not necessarily have any representation throughout the world, let alone America, let alone universities. And Africana Studies kind of, gives them the ability to explore that and to kind of get to know each other more and find a community where they can talk about the issues that they have to deal with. Because being a Black person today in 2021 is not only a up and down of trial and tribulation, but definitely something to endure. Benefits of majoring and minoring in this field. I'm so excited to talk about this because I found so many beautiful and amazing ones. And the benefits are understanding the Black diaspora. I mean, as a human being, when you do walk up to a person, and hopefully if you are this kind of person, when you do walk up to a person and you do talk to them, you kind of want to relate to them, get to know them, let them get to know you. And with Africana Studies, if you are not a Black person, you are able to interact with those people, and those people being Black people, and have some kind of relation to them, or know things that you can say and cannot say, and things that you can do and cannot do, and so on and so forth. Basically understanding the amount of respect that necessarily should be given to a Black person, and not even in the sense of right or wrong, but just in everything, as far as culture goes, as far as certain issues go, as far as where you should stand on a moral high ground when it does come to Black people and the issues that they face, or they have faced from the beginning of time till now. So as a person who is not Black, it is a great way for you to get in touch with, finding out about something that's not really yourself. It's a great place to see the issues that do occur in the Black community and just the culture in itself. As a Black person, though, this is where we're getting to the good stuff. As a Black person, Africana Studies is amazing. The benefits are endless with Africana Studies. And because of the fact that Africana Studies, and especially in a university, it is a whole, how can I put this? And I definitely don't want to stumble, but it is a whole field in a way. And Africana Studies is an entire community within itself. And in that community, it is a community that is on a university campus. And universities also come with professors, and professors are people of certain amount of influence. And as a professor, you do know ways to interact with other people, to find opportunities for your students, and so on and so forth. So it is a very nice way for people, Black people, to find connections and find it in a manner that it is the direct way, academically, educationally, and so on and so forth. So I think it is an amazing way for African American students to find their place in this career world and to see people who have done things that they have might not have seen been done in their regular lives. There are so many people around them that they can pick and pull from as inspiration. So that's why I really do think that Africana Studies is an amazing thing, because it is a civilized place, and as Black people and the way that people perceive Black people, it seems as if, there isn't something, or there isn't a place where Black people can stand and be proud of who they are and in the things that they do, and in a professional way. And Africana Studies, especially being on a university, is what I would see that as, which is why I find it generally amazing, because there's so many mentors that you can find in Africana Studies being a Black student. So that is a very, very big thing. As you can see, I'm a bit passionate about it. As well, another benefit of majoring or minoring in Africana Studies, or majoring and minoring in the field all in general, would be being an adequate defender of the Black community. And when I say that, I do not mean that you as a Black person, you do not have the born right to be an adequate defender of the Black community, but in a sense where you know your facts, you know the history down to a T, you know the things that have basically led up to who we are as a community, and why we do the things that we do, and why we are the way that we are, and the things that we have had to endure generationally and otherwise that have led us to here. So Africana Studies is a great place for you to learn about all those things, and for you to have all your facts, and for you to, somebody really said to you, oh, well, this is this about this, you can say, no, let me tell you a little something. I'm smart, and I am a major in Africana Studies, so I know what I'm talking about, and you can just lay it all down for them. So I think that that is also a great way, because who does not love to tell somebody something and be completely right about it? Excuse me. Career paths that you can take as an Africana Studies major generally is pretty expansive. There is really nothing that you can't do that or that you wouldn't be able to do as an Africana Studies major, but in a sense where you are doing it that is close to that field, or the career path that you're taking is close to that field. One would be journalism. Yes, journalism. So that would be a reporter of any sort. That would be any person who necessarily does interviews with people, anything of that sort, any kind of journalist. And being an Africana Studies major, you might want to be journaling in a sense where you were only focusing on the African American diaspora and doing everything on that field. So journalism is a great field to go into, as a Africana Studies major, because there's a lot of good that you can do in that field for the community, and so on and so forth. The stories that you talk about, the people that you influence, being the strong African American person that you are in the media, within the blogs, all of that. And as I said, as this whole theme for my entire speech, representation matters, and representation is the hugest thing. And the more that other people see you do, the more that they will be comfortable in doing it themselves. Another career path that you can also take as an Africana Studies major is an Africana Studies professor. Hello. Or anything that is related to African American culture that has to do with education. So that can be an African American lit teacher, that can be anything in that field. Excuse me for not being able to list the very many and different types, but definitely a teacher or an advisor who speaks to you about the African American culture and everything a part of the African American diaspora. And without those people, I wouldn't even be in this class. I would not even have the amount of knowledge that I do have in relation to the African American diaspora. So it is a very big and vital thing. So, in addition, being an African American teacher also teaching Africana studies or African American lit or anything that has to do again with the African American diaspora is very, very huge, because not always do African Americans teach those subjects. So having an African American teacher do that and having Black students be able to relate to an African American teacher in a sense where they can teach them and know exactly where they're coming from as far as their teaching goes, because they can relate to it, because hello, they are Black. It's all them. It is an amazing thing for students, and I can say it is an amazing thing for me, especially seeing someone that looks like me, someone who, you know, kind of functions in the way that I do and kind of has the same background as I do teach me something, and then me being able to be like, yes, I like that, I can see that, because it almost feels like a little bit of a mirror. So those are very big career paths to go into, and they are career paths that will take you a long way. As long as you have your passion for it, you can make it happen and you can make it something. It has been so great, and I am a little bit melancholic because of the fact that this is the end of the semester and this is my last speech, and I feel as if I've grown as a speaker, but there's a lot for me to learn, and I have honestly genuinely loved this class, and I know that this is not supposed to be a part of my conclusion, and I hope that I do not get docked off points for this, but I do want to say that I like how this class helps me grow as a person, if not as a speaker, because of the fact that all the questions that were asked, all the speeches that we do, and how they relate directly to who I am and the people that surround me is honestly quite amazing. It kind of, you know, gives you a little magnifying glass into myself. And I am grateful, and I give all the gratitude in the world for being able to be in the position that I am to do so. It has a lot of benefits, as well as reasons why it does matter, as well as the positive impacts that it does have on the African community and otherwise. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And unfortunately, I cannot sit here and talk for 10 hours, but I am grateful to be able to learn those, and that being one of the benefits, being able to learn things that are in relation to the Africana community, and being able to learn about those things and understand that there are people out there are communities out there, and especially in the academic educational sense, who are representing you, and good representations that you would see in the media that people would give a thumbs up for. And I love that. I think that that's an amazing thing. And as well, the positive impacts are endless. Being able to feel whole in one place, being able to be somewhere where you can relate to others and feel accepted is a very great thing. And everyone should have a space where they can feel like that and feel as if they can have somewhere that they can be a part of a community. And as sad as it is, I am so grateful that I got to be a part of this class, a part of this course, and a part of the conversation that is Africana Studies. Thank you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of, I guess, your life, because I don't know if I'm going to see you again. But thank you, and I hope you guys have a good one.